Hi everyone, and today I will show you how to create this makeup look with all the products that you probably have in your makeup kit. So let's get into it. So ladies, we are going to start with the skin prep. This is super crucial step in your makeup. So I recently bought a cream from Dr. Irina Iris. I'm not sure how to pronounce it correctly, but this one is magical for me, and honestly, I didn't record videos for a week, I guess. I started using my acne treatment from Epiduo, and that thing literally killed my skin because it burned everything out of my skin, and I felt terrible because it was shedding, and it was an unbelievable journey for me during the last week. However, I consulted with my dermatologist and she said that it's okay, it's a normal reaction of the skin for this component that actually, heals acne, and it unfortunately takes some time. So yeah, I'm on a journey. So once I prep my skin and it feels hydrated, I can proceed with my foundation. My favorite foundation from a drugstore, it's L'Oreal True Match. I recently found it, so it's just my recent purchase, and I am mesmerized. It is beautiful foundation. I have my favorite brush that I use for foundation. It is Makeup by Mario F4 brush. Ride or die foundation brush. Literally, I highly recommend you to try it. Important note how to apply the foundation. I highly recommend to apply the foundation and all the liquid textures, creamy textures of your makeup through the hand. Because when you apply your foundation right on the skin and do, 2-3 pumps, you have zero control over it. I really recommend you to try the technique on the hand and then pack it onto the brush and then apply on the skin. So with this technique, you have much more control, and you definitely can stop when you feel that you have enough coverage. The point here that you need to distribute this foundation evenly on the brush, so when you touch your face, you do not have any patchiness whatsoever. So it is very easy for you to distribute the product on your skin. I'll take my mirror to see everything, what I'm doing. So hear me out. You are not swiping, you are packing, okay? So we're not doing any spot correction right now. If you have some pimples showing up here and there, it's not the step where you have to cover them. You have to, even out your skin tone. That's it. Once you get it, just stop right here. So I have this beautiful front here, as you can see. And also don't forget about your neck. Stretch the foundation to your neck as well, so you do not have different textures between the neck and the face. Now I take my favorite concealer from Dior. I also put a pinch on the back of my hand, and I take my favorite brush for concealer. This is one from the House Labs. I like the size, it's not too small, so it gives me both the great control over the under eye area and just a very fast application because of their size. So I also pack the product onto the brush first. So what we want to achieve here, we want to cover the pigment over here, right? So we have this blue pigment, blue and pinky pigment over here. And as you may see, it is right there and a little bit here. There is no pigment over here. So the first place where you have to put your brush should be this particular area. And then you stretch the product down. So you have the last creasing in this area. All right. So this is my eye with the concealer, and this is my eye without the concealer. You see my pimple over here. I'm going to add a little bit of concealer to the pimple over here And with the tapping motions, I will try to cover it up. I see that I have an even tone of my face, but I do not have the dimension. So I need to add the dimension. So I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, and with this Makeup by Maria F4 brush that I applied my foundation with the other side, more dense one, I will pack the bronzer. So I put the product on the highest points of my cheeks, and then I take my foundation brush to distribute a product more evenly and to blend all the edges. So I have this soft bronzy effect on my face. And I like to sculpt my nose a little bit. And this one I also will be blending with my foundation side of the brush. So for the first part of my blush, I will be using the red lipstick. I have some options of the liquid blushes, but I believe that red lipstick is this perfect thing that can serve you for different purposes, and every woman should have one in her purse or in her makeup bag, and we need to put her in a good use. So I will show you how to make a perfect blush, long-lasting blush with the red lipstick that you have in your makeup kit. I will apply the red lipstick on the back of my hand. Then I will add a little bit of concealer that I used previously right here. And after this, I will take my Sephora 64 brush, which I find particularly amazing and very unique. It can work with each and every texture. And then what I do, I just blend everything together. So you have this flash of color on your cheeks. If you want to make it more on the pale side, you can add more concealer. If you want it brighter, you can add more lipstick. So you can control this. Makeup shouldn't be with the strict rules, right? You can make up your own rules with the makeup. So this is amazing. I love makeup. I love play with makeup and create my own textures and my own colors using the product that I already own in my makeup bag. So then start with literally the lightest hand possible, okay? Just barely touching your skin. Apply the first layer of blush. So you can see the pigment, right? And this will stay. Okay, I see it is a little bit harsh right now. So I take my foundation brush again and diffuse all the edges. So this side without the blush and this side is with the blush. And now let's set everything up. So for setting my makeup, I am using my Laura Mercier setting powder, and I take my fluffy brush. So what I do, I pack the product and I take my palm and distribute the powder. I personally prefer to even out my under area, and if I see any creasing from the concealer now, I just take my finger and, you know, with the tapping motions try to even out the concealer. And then, and also I do like on the eyelids where I applied my concealer before, and then I press the product under my eye. I want to do my brows real quick. I'm not doing anything with my brows, and I just do the brow gel and gently, you know, brush my eyebrows with the gel. That's it, what I do. So for the eye look, I have prepared something super special, and for the first part, I really need you to have any gel pencil, eye pencil, can be in any color you want. I have a black one. And some dense brush. I have one from Kiko Milano in the number 58. So I add some pigment on the inner corner first and grab my brush to diffuse and blend everything out. Since I have a gel eye pencil, I really need to work fast with this one because it will set and I couldn't move it. A little wing here and go higher on my bone. Take your blending brush and again diffuse. We have the black pigment in the inner corner, we have the black pigment on the outer corner, and we have the blank space in the middle here. So what I want to do, I want to emphasize this naked space on my center of the eye. So I take my light eyeshadow from Kiko Milano, packing brush from CTR. I apply this on my center of the lid. Take your fluffy brush, I have one from Morphe, the blending brush, and try to diffuse all the colors in one another. So I take my palette from Huda Beauty and I'm going to move somewhere in this range. So grayish colors. I start with the grayish color and with my blending brush I will add a little bit on my bone, on my brow bone. Then I take the same brush that I used for blending my eye pencil and add a little bit of the gray color and pack it on the outer corner. So I have both eyes done, and now let's finish this eye look. Again, we're starting with the eye pencil on my waterline. So I will diffuse the edge on my bottom lashes, and I want to connect it with my wing. So it's just snatched, you know? Then I take my blending brush and blend the corners a little bit. And do the same for the other eye. So I add a color on my waterline and on my bottom lash. Again, take my little brush and blend out the edges. I want to snatch my eye a little bit, so I take my concealer brush, and what is left, I am lifting up my wing a little bit from both sides. Now we are going to add some mascara and finish up with this eye look. For mascara, I'm using one from Kiko Milano and evenly coat every lash. Okay, we've done with eyes. So let me add the powder blush, and I adore this blush from YSL. It is so beautiful, and I also take my favorite brush from Morphe, M163. Also with the tapping motions, I am adding a little bit more blush on my cheeks. So it is like flesh color that also adds some life. And for the lips, since I do not have any cool tone pencil and I don't want to have any, warm tone pencil with this grayish eyes, I will use my brow pencil for my lips. Remember, I told you that you can make up the rules for your makeup look. So this is what I meant. All right. So I take one from Maybelline or from L'Oreal. I'm not sure. Okay, like micro pencil for brows from L'Oreal. So I'm always working with my natural volume and not the natural pigment, okay? Because pigment is here. You see the pigment is here, but the volume is here. You can see the difference, right? So we want to work with volume and not the pigment. And I feather it out a little bit on the corners. And then I take the brush and diffuse the edges. And then any clear gloss that you have. Setting everything up with my Makeup by Mario setting spray. And we are done. Thank you for being with me. My hand is just a palette of all the colors that we've used in this makeup. See you in my next videos. Bye bye.